Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is David Benjamin from HealthyWildandFree.com. Today I want to talk a little bit about fruit and the ripening process of fruit and the value of both unripe and ripe fruit. Now, a lot of people out there are saying you need to eat a banana when it's really brown, when it's got like brown all over, it's just completely covered in brown, just ripe as can be. And I don't disagree with them, but I don't 100% agree with them either. And there's a reason for that. Now, I heard this story once from a guy that I really admire and respect. His name is John Easterling. He's called Amazon John Easterling. And he's the founder of the Amazon Herb product line. And you can learn more about that at organicrainforestherbs.com, or you can read the book called Your Supplements Suck on healthywildandfree.com for free. And I talk about the different values of herbs from Amazon rainforest. But he founded this product line, and in one of his videos he talks about the Camu Camu berry, which the Camu Camu berry is a potent, kind of bitter, pungent, just really bitter berry from the Amazon rainforest. It's this orange berry, and it's the highest concentrated source of vitamin C in the world that we know of to date, as far as science goes. So it's very potent in vitamin C, and it's rich in flavonoids and all these other kind of polyphenols and plant pigments that are beneficial antioxidants for our health. And in the video he talks about harvesting Camu Camu, and he really works closely with the tribes down there, and then the shamans and the medicine people and all these types of things. And he talks about how within Camu Camu, it has a season. So the rainwater rises and it literally immerses and covers these trees, most of the trees in water, and then the water goes back down. And the Camu Camu berries grow, and there's an early kind of season, and then they ripen, and then this kind of late season, just like any other fruit. You know, there's the beginning of the season and then the end of the season. And what he talked about was how when they looked at the Camu Camu berry during the different kind of seasons, during the different time periods, they found that basically the antioxidant content, the nutritional profile, the nutritional content, basically the health impact and health value of the berry changed from the very beginning of that season to the very end and within the middle. So the whole process, the berry was basically completely changed as it ripened and as the season, kind of ended, and as the season ended, and as the earlier it was in the tree, as opposed to it ripening and throughout the season, if you will. So what he understood was that there's value to the early berry, the berry that comes first, and there's nutritional value to that. But then as that ripens, and then as it ripens even more, there's value to that too, but the value is different. It's not that one is more valuable than the other, it's just that the value is different, and it's just a different nutritional profile, and there's different value to your body within different respects and regards. So what I learned from that, and let me just kind of finish the story, and basically from him learning that, they harvest the Camu Camu berries from different growing stages. So when it's like, just kind of budding on the tree, when the berries full grown, and then when the berries kind of ripe. So they take all of those berries, and then that's what they create the Camu Camu supplement at organicrainforestherbs.com from the different berries and different stages on the tree, which is really interesting. And I found that really interesting because when he said that, I started to think about other fruit and the value of fruit directly picked off the tree as opposed to letting it ripen and eating it then, because some people say like this apple or this fruit right from the tree or whatever it is kind of fruit, it's delicious and it's the most nutritious because you just plucked it from the tree. And then I hear other people say there's for example with bananas, you have to wait until they're really, really brown before you eat them, otherwise you're not getting a lot of nutritional value. And so I looked into it deeper. What I found was actually really, really interesting. And what I found kind of related to Amazon John's findings with the Camu Camu berry. And that finding is that if I take a banana, and I'm using bananas as an example just to keep it simple, if I take a banana and I pick them from the tree, they're going to be kind of green when you pick them, typically, and that's how they are in America at least, or they don't pick them in America, but you get what I'm saying. They pick them from South America or Central America, and then they are green, and then they ship them to America, and they turn yellow and brown over time. But when the bananas are originally green, what's actually occurring is the bananas they're full of starch. So it's a starchy fruit. It's just starch. It's like a plantain. So there's a lot of starch content, and when it breaks down and turns brown, which brown is oxidation over time, the banana turns into sugars as opposed to starch. So it's starch phase, sugar phase. In the beginning, it's got probiotics when it's kind of more green, and then when it kind of oxidizes and ferments and ages, oxidizes, the antioxidant count goes up, and the sugar count, the glycemic index, goes up as well. So that changes. So over here, you're getting kind of more starchy, probiotic, and over here, you're getting more kind of sugar and antioxidant count, which both are beneficial and valuable. To add on top of that, in the beginning, when they're kind of more green, it allows for nutrient assimilation to some degree to be a little bit better, so specifically for calcium. So if you have a calcium deficiency, it's probably smarter or a calcium deficiency, or just kind of bad quality calcium, or your body isn't using calcium properly, or whatever it may be. Green bananas are probably a good idea because it allows your body to absorb and use calcium in a better way. Whereas if you wait, when the banana ripens and it turns more into a sugary content, it's a higher glycemic food, it's higher in antioxidants, but they've also found that some of the micronutrients are lost during that process, or are just not utilized as fully as in a less ripened stage. So there's value to a green banana, believe it or not. There's value to a yellow banana, and there's value to a brown banana, and there's value to a really brown banana. The whole phase has nutritional value. It's just a different profile. And think about it too. People say all the time, eat the rainbow. I agree. So why not eat a somewhat green banana, a somewhat yellow banana, and a somewhat brown banana? You're playing all the cards. If you're just eating brown bananas all the time, you're not going to get the value of the slightly green bananas. And if you're just eating bananas that are completely green and yellow, you're not going to get the benefits of the brown bananas that have the antioxidant compounds and things like that. And when they turn brown, they also have the TNF, tumor nerocis factor, which increases geranium count in the bananas, which is a mineral that's an anti-cancerous mineral that breaks up abnormal cell coagulation, if you will, within the body. So that's the benefit of brown bananas. And then, but with green bananas more, you have probiotics and starch content and certain micronutrient assimilation and absorption. So, and over here more antioxidants. So it's like there's value throughout the whole process. So I think it's very important when you listen to these people talking about health and wellness and diet advice to really think for yourself. Like really think for yourself. And this is something I've really had to do in my life as of the last year to 2 years, is really begin to think for myself and my own health and really begin to research things further and not take everything on everyone's word for it, because everyone has their own beliefs and their own ideas and their own opinions, and that's great. And the idea I just gave you is a much bigger picture, is a much broader perspective than what most people are talking about, because they just believe that brown bananas are best, or really ripe fruit is best overall. So it's very important to kind of think about this, see the big picture, understand the value of fruits at every phase in the process, and incorporate a little bit of each into your life. And maybe you'll find that, because when bananas ripen, they're more sugar content as opposed to starchier, and it's easier to digest, and maybe, for you, that just makes more sense because your body has a hard time digesting starches. That's fine, I completely understand that. But don't ignore the fact that there's value at every stage in the process, and test it out for yourself. And if you can do a little bit of both, or all three, not ripe, sort of ripe, really ripe, then do that and include all those in your diet, because you're going to get a different nutritional profile, different nutritional value, and a different activation value within each step of the process, because different nutrients and different compounds are activated at each step within the ripening process, activated or deactivated, valued or devalued. It's a constant evolution. Fruit changes even after you pick it. When it's ripening, that process is completely changing, and your body assimilates and absorbs different value during that whole process. So just like people say eat the rainbow, when it's green, when it's yellow, when it's brown, eat bananas all around. Get a range of value, and when food's ripened, you can eat them when they're ripe, you can eat them when they're not, but understand the value. So to answer the question, should I eat fruit when it's really ripe or sort of ripe or not ripe at all? Eat all three. Eat food at every stage of the process, and start Googling these things and understanding the value. And I hope this video helped bring you a little perspective and help you to understand that process a little bit better. Just to understand that there's value at every part of the process. And just to end this video, think about this for a minute. If I were a tribal, a tribal person, someone who was in a tribe on an island in a tropical remote village somewhere, and I went and picked the banana off the tree and it was green, and I just started opening it and eating it and eating it, and I ate it, that'd be pretty normal, right? I think it'd be pretty normal to eat a pretty much green banana or somewhat yellow banana, or banana that's somewhat brown. I think we're overthinking things when we think we know everything about fruit and vegetables and when we should eat them and all this kind of stuff. Obviously, in season is great. Obviously, eating local and in season is great. But to say you should only eat them when they're ripe or not ripe is just kind of ridiculous. And if you look at nature and if you look at human instincts and human patterns, that's my new word, by the way. We ate food at every stage of the process because there was value at every stage of the process, and that's what nature provided. So nature doesn't discriminate, basically, is what I'm saying. So I think it's important to understand that, and just eat fruits and vegetables. You don't have to overthink it. And if you do, like me, and you do overthink it like me, hopefully this video helps bring some clarity to not overthink it, and at least understand the value of overthinking it, to understand the value in the whole process, as a whole. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you don't think I'm crazy. And if you do, hey, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there anyway that you can watch and enjoy that I'm sure are not as crazy as I. So thanks a lot for your time. This is David Benjamin from healthywildandfree.com. Make sure to check out my website, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video if you enjoyed it, leave your comments below. And I'll see you in the Healthy, Wild, and Free podcast in iTunes. Go to iTunes, type in Healthy, Wild, and Free. I'll see you on the podcast or on these videos or on my website or on the Healthy, Wild, and Free Facebook page. A lot of information being shared. So I'll see you around. Thanks a lot for your time. Have a great day. Bye.